Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Go on Umbral. And today we're looking at Mesa again. Yes, Mesa Prime is out, and with every Prime comes a buff to the original Warframe. Lotus, I'm trying to do something. Thank you. And with every Prime Warframe comes a buff to their stats, as well as the polarities. So I figured today I will show you a reworked version of the Mesa's Umbral Waltz build that I made, using the very beautifully made Mesa Prime. Let's get into it. So, a lot of things have changed from the original Mesa build. Compared to the original Mesa Prime has 20%, not 20%, 20 more armor, 25 more energy, and 10 more health. So she got very minor boost across the board. The only thing untouched is her shield and sprint speed. Now, with the addition, as you saw in the original Mesa Waltz, I was using the Redeemer. We now have the beastly Redeemer Prime. Look at that, 100% status. Absolutely amazing. And I am proud to say that Mesa can maintain her Waltz even longer. Right, even longer. So, for the aura, as you can see, the initial build hasn't changed too much. The only thing that has changed is the former cost. The original Umbral Mesa that I made required 5 former. 6 because I made a mistake. Mesa Prime only requires 3 former, so you're saving 2. As you can see, the mod setup is the same. Energy Siphon is very much dependent. If you don't want to run an Energy Siphon, you can run Corrosive Projection, which honestly I will probably run myself. During testing, I found Energy Siphon wasn't too helpful to me. In the Excellent slot, we do have Mesa's Waltz. Yes, this augment can actually go in your Excellent slot, and honestly, it is very handy because it frees up a spot down here for me to put mods in. We have Fleeting Expertise and Streamline for that capped out efficiency, as well as negative 60 ability duration. However, that is easily remedied with Narrow-Minded and Prime Continuity, giving us 132% duration. Now if you're a new player, you can run the normal continuity. You will still get the same effect. You will only have 10% less duration. And Mesa doesn't rely on range. The only range powers that come from her range is her Shatter shield and her Ballistic battery. However, those are more defensive abilities for Mesa herself, so range isn't really important. We have Hunter's Adrenaline to convert any damage done to our health, which we are now sitting at over 1000 health, to our energy. Odds are, while we're in our Mesa's Waltz, we're going to be taking damage, especially if our powers fall off. So, obviously having that energy, we can just come out of Umbral Waltz, use our powers, go back into Waltz if we want to, and mow stuff down. Transient Fortitude for ability strength and negative ability duration. Honestly, you want to try and push not absorbent amounts of power strength on Mesa, because you do want to maintain a very decent duration and efficiency on her, but you want to have enough so your powers can pack a very significant wallop. And of course, for an Umbral build, we have Umbral Intensify and Umbral Vitality, giving us bonus health and bonus ability strength, plus the tower resistance. Now for those who don't know, tower resistance is essentially resistance to the sentience, which, given the fact that the developers have released this kind of mod set, leads me to believe that we're going to be fighting a lot more sentience in the future. And as I said before, Prime continuity, but again, if you're a newer player, you can use the original continuity in this place. As you can see, the build hasn't changed a lot. One thing I will put on to Mesa Prime now, because I did forget to put it on. Over the holidays, I did invest in some arcane graces, just to help with the survivability of my warframes. Because the original problem we had with the original Umbral Mesa is we could kick out a ton of damage. We were very survivable, but we had to rely on the Furious to get our health back. That hasn't changed. However, with Arcane Grace, we have to rely on the Furious a bit less, because we have a set chance when we hit to restore health, making Mesa even more, well, broken, I have to admit. And I have done a Biggs' Arsenal for the Redeemer Prime, but in case you haven't watched it, here is the build we're using. I do have a river mod for this, the Redeemer Vezi Exetor, for finisher damage, range and melee damage. And of course, this is my trusty Lifesteal Furious, with Pistol Ammo Mutation, Frostbite, Pistol Pestilence, Scorch, Lethal Torrent, Barrel Diffusion, Hornet Strike, and of course the Winds of Purity, which allows us to lifesteal. For Regulators Prime, this is a one former build. For some reason I thought it was a two former build. My memory is terrible. We have Lethal Torrent, Jolt, Barrel Diffusion, Target Cracker, Pathogen Rounds, Hornet Strike, Auger Pact, and Pistol Gambit. Now, we have a hybrid build on the Regulators Prime, because as you can see, with the normal Pistol Gambit and Target Cracker, we are sitting at a 55% critical chance and a 4.8 times multiplier. Yeah, Regulators Prime can shred even better than the regular Regulators. And of course, we have a 100 magazine, a reload of 1.8, even though I've never seen the Regulators reload. I don't know how they reload, but apparently they do reload. And a status chance of 38.6. Now that is because we have multi-shot. That is not the actual status we have. The normal status we have is about 20%. Trigger is auto. As you can see, the Regulators Prime mostly deal in impact damage, but we're buffing up the corrosive. But unfortunately, impact still takes the lead, because impact / and puncture do have a 4 times greater chance of proccing over elementals such as corrosive, fire, all that stuff. I know, I only just found that out myself. Well, not recently, about a month ago when I started watching this guy. Anyway, what is an Umbral build showcase without us jumping into Sanctuary Onslaught and seeing how the new, improved Mesa can absolutely dominate. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I was leveling up Mesa Prime, forming her and all that stuff,
your duty in this experiment is
the carnage I was doing, it was
as efficiently as possible.
it was so good.
I will open the next data conduit.
Plus, she looks amazing to boot. Alright people, let's do this. Shooting gallery! Right. It's high noon. Come on, come get me, Creed. The only problem that Mesa Prime has is if you don't get hit. As you see, I had to literally walk through that poison to get energy up so I can do this. Yeah, I ain't gotta tell you that this is kind of stupidly broken. Especially because we've put corrosive on the Regulators Prime. Even armor targets aren't gonna... like, they're not gonna stand a chance. In fact, I'm hoping the next round is actually armor targets, so I can show you the damage we can do against them. Right. As you can see, the basis of the build hasn't changed. It's still optimized for you to be in Peacemaker for as long as you possibly can, while still maintaining the efficiency to use your other powers. That's the one thing I don't like about some builds you see are very inefficient in the fact that you can only cast it once or twice and rely on Xenoric. They're not bad builds, but they're not very efficient. Personally, get out of it. I like to build efficiency so I know I can get a greater boom out of all my powers and pull off stupid stuff much like this. Again, the Redeemer does... oh my god, it's just such a good fit for Mesa Prime, as it was for the original Mesa. How dare you! And for those who don't know, if you use Mesa's 1 and hit an enemy with a charge shot, you can actually charge it. Charge your 1 with the charge shots of the Redeemer. However, if you activate Ballistic Battery again, which is a 1, the bonus power amp is not consumed from the Redeemer. What the fuck? Right. Just to showcase that off, as you can see, we have Ballistic Battery up. It does not consume the bonus damage. To point out, I've never had to touch the Furist once. Yes, I did start the last round off with the Furist, but I was at full health. Mesa, right now, is very survivable. Obviously, against higher level targets, you are going to need to be wary that your Shatter Shield and your I almost said Ballistic Battery. Your Shatter Shield and your... what is it? Shooting Gallery. That's some serious concentration I had to put in just there. Yeah, you had to make sure that they are up. Otherwise, a high level target will blow you to pieces. And not even Arcane Grace is going to save you from it. So, if you feel like if you enjoy being in an old Western movie, give this a go. It's basically high noon all the time. And honestly, not much has, as I've stated before, not much has changed from the original build. Just the minor stat improvements from the Prime to the normal Mesa.
I trust you will be able to complete this study, Hunter.
And honestly, I prefer the Mesa Prime build over the normal Mesa. Not only is it more resource efficient in the fact that it only costs 3 former to do, but the fact that, I don't know man, it feels like it performs better. Especially with the upgraded Regulator Prime, this build just shreds. I think it cost me like 11 former to do my original Mesa Prime. No, Mesa Prime. Umbral Mesa build. Which obviously, if you're a free-to-play player, that's going to be a very huge investment for a build you may not even use. Because spoilers, I buy my former. Actually, Arcane Grace kicked in. Excuse me. My voice cracking for a second. So, as you see, Zone 3 is the only time we had to really touch the Furious. And honestly, Mesa is a very tanky warframe. She's broken in more regards than just damage. I've seen a build that uses adaptation on her from one of the warframe YouTubers that I watch, a gay guy plays, and he run adaptation on Mesa. And honestly, I can see where it's coming from. It makes a lot of sense. Because obviously, during Peacemaker, you're taking all kinds of damage from every single direction. Especially if you're playing solo. So adaptation gives you 90% resistance and just makes Mesa that much tankier. Allowing her to still pump out that damage and not worry about her defenses because she has a 90% resistance to whatever's hitting her.
I have opened a new data conduit. Proceed immediately.
And you can see, Zone 4 and 81% efficiency. It feels good, man. Now you do get bonus points of health to Mesa if you're not using a melee weapon. However, it's only 50 points of health. I mean, it's up to you what you prefer. Personally, I like to just mow through enemies with a gunblade. Okay, weren't paying attention to my buffs. I like to mow through targets with a gunblade. So that 50 points of health is very negligible to me. And honestly doesn't really impact Mesa's survivability. But as you saw right there, if you have a large group of enemies and your buffs fall up, you're gonna die. But luckily for us, we can do stuff like this. We can become an auto-torrent of destruction. Also, a quick question for you guys. Obviously, Mesa Prime has just released. Who do you think the next Prime Warframe is going to be? Personally, I'm kind of hoping for Equinox. Equinox is someone I haven't even covered in my Umbral builds yet, but I feel Equinox is going to be next. I got that feeling, man. I got that feeling. But if they're doing it in chronological order, I believe... Oh, I'm not even sure who came out after Mesa. No, I think it was Equinox, wasn't it? I don't know. If you do know, let me know.
Data conduit is open. Go now.
Right, we're actually going to leave it there. But as you can see, Umbral Mesa is back, and she can kick posterior,
You are running
derriere.
Enter the data conduit.
Well, she can still kick derriere. But she can do it with more power.
Hunter, the sanctuary will go on without you.
And that is Umbral Mesa, reworked and primed. Honestly, I like how Mesa Prime looks. I like how she plays with this build. Mesa Prime is just ticking so many boxes for me. Will she replace Siren? Probably not. But you know, if ever we want to blow stuff off, blow faces off people with guns, Mesa Prime is where it's at. Again, here's the build.
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return covered in blood. Safe and sound.
I will do all this. There's the build. Again, do keep an eye on your buffs. As you saw there when I was chatting away, weren't keeping an eye on my buffs, and I did die for it. But that's the basic breakdown. If you want any statistics, they will be in the description on YouTube. And I'll see you guys later. Bye bye now.